Welcome to Muslim Apologetics Australia. So as you know, Yasir Qadhi has uploaded a video on transgender. So here he's finally really publicly spoken against transgender. And it's interesting because when he uploaded this video, a comment by the name of Okasha Omar writes, have a listen, he says, quote, "Send this video to all the Hakikatul fans who spread fitna everywhere. May Allah accept from you Sheikh Yasir Qadhi, and may Allah grant you Omar Suleiman and all the scholars who are slandered the good deeds of those who slander." Right? Apparently, we're the ones that are spreading fitna because we're telling people to come back to orthodoxy Islam. But when Yasir Qadhi preaches that you can have non-Muslim friends, when Yasir Qadhi preaches that Umar ibn Khattab will fail in an Aqidah test, when, for instance, Yasir Qadhi says about Dr. Zakir Naik that he doubts him converting hundreds and thousands of people. Apparently this isn't spreading fitna. Apparently when Yasir Qadhi says that the standard narrative regarding the Quranic preservation having holes and then he deletes the video because he can't really explain himself, apparently that's not spreading fitna. But us condemning Yasir Qadhi for sharing a public platform with people like Ilhan Omar, who's an LGBTI2 activist, apparently we are the ones spreading the fitna. So I wrote back and I said, Yasir will do a video like this regarding transgender, him being against transgender, but when he goes on Western media, he will refuse to criticize transgender and say, as long as I can have my Muslim right in this country, then so can a transgender. And watch how his tone changes. And then to add insult to injury, he, Yasir Qadhi, will share the same platform as Ilhan Omar, who is an advocate for LGBTIQ and transgender. So if an Islamic group invites Ilhan Omar to speak on their platform, Yasir admits he will participate and join them also in the same organization and in the same event. So isn't that being complicit in sharing the same organization and sharing the same platform with a transgender, with a LGBTI activist? Isn't that being complicit in their crime? Will Yasir Qadhi also share the same platform with Donald Trump? Will Yasir Qadhi also share the same platform with Ku Klux Klan? Will Yasir Qadhi also share the same platform with right-wing fascists? If I know an Islamic organization is affiliated with a right-wing fascist, I will not share their platform. I will not participate in their events. I don't care, even if it's on a different day, I will not share in their platform. Because when you're sharing in that platform, you're supporting them and their events. You're supporting them and you're talking to the same audience. You're not being strong in your message to condemn this organization. If that organization is calling an evil person, then why are you participating in that organization? You're just building that organization's reputation. You're promoting that organization's reputation. You're promoting them. Yasir Qadhi says, if I come on a different day, I'm not really sharing the same platform with Ilhan Omar. I'm not sharing the same platform. But that's deceptive because you're still promoting that organization that's promoting Ilhan Omar. Yasir admitted this himself. He said he will accept invitation from any masjid that invites Ilhan Omar. I swear to God, he said this. He said it would be ludicrous not to accept such an invitation. My issue with Yasir Qadhi is he speaks different when he speaks to Muslims, but when he's standing in front of non-Muslims, he has a different tone. He speaks in a way not to offend them, and at times he talks in a way to suggest if he is allowed to have his Muslim right, then the non-Muslim can also have their rights under the same law. It's basically you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Wallahi, if he gives up this mentality, he'll be a very good sheikh. Yasir has admitted that he will support LGBTIQ political advocate so long as he has more good policies that favour Muslims than other politicians who reject LGBTIQ but have lesser support for Muslims. So basically, so long as he is given his Muslim rights, it doesn't matter how much evil the politician spreads about other ethical matters, so long as Yasir gets his Islamic rights. So as long as he gets to have his mosque, he's allowed to preach on the mimbar, he's allowed to have halal slaughter under the law, then he's content living under a system that bombards his children with LGBTIQ at schools, in the media, and Yasir says, at least I have my right. It doesn't matter who's in politics and how bad they're corrupting society and influencing my children, both Muslims and non-Muslims who have equal rights under a secular law. Is this not compromising? Just imagine, folks, think about this for a moment. Think deeply about this for a moment. Just imagine if the Prophet accepted such a condition in an Islamic country. Imagine in Arabia 1400 years ago. The Quraysh made an agreement with the Prophet that we have a law where we both get to practice whatever we like. Would the Prophet accept this condition? Would the Prophet have allowed idols to be worshipped in the public and say we need to respect each other's gods? We need to respect each other's morals. Then why did the Prophet ﷺ destroy the idols? Not just inside the Kaaba, but even in the Arabian Peninsula. If the Quraysh wanted to open brothels that are public and wanted to have male brothels like Qawm Lut and told the Prophet we must coexist and you must allow us to have our own laws under the same law, would the Prophet accept this? If not, why then does Yasir think it's okay to come live under a Western country and preach that both moral values can exist side by side in a Western nation? Why doesn't Yasir Qadhi bring that same system to Saudi Arabia if that's all okay? Why don't we all get to choose what we want to practice in Saudi Arabia? Let's invite the LGBTIQ, let's invite the idol worshippers, let's invite all the atheists to Saudi Arabia. And we'll create a democracy where we all share the same law and we all get to practice what we like. At the end of the day, we all get to practice our own beliefs without being discriminated against. Why the hypocrisy? You come do it at a Western country, why not allow them to come do it at a Muslim country? This proves in of itself that we all really deep down know such coexistence under the same law doesn't work. And it is very dangerous. Because eventually one will spread and take over the other. We don't allow evil to incubate. If we facilitate evil, it means we are part of the problem and are complicit in the action. That's why in a Muslim country under a Sharia system, we are not allowed to have Christians sell alcohol or pork publicly or where they open brothels or nightclubs. Umar ibn Khattab even said that when Christians build churches, they are forbidden to display their crosses and their churches cannot be larger than the Muslim mosques. If Muslim Sharia countries have so many boundaries against coexistence with other faiths and ideologies, why does Yasir think it's okay for Muslims to coexist among non-Muslims? And we should all just live under the same moral principles so long as they have their rights, we can have our rights. If that is a standard legitimacy and if that standard is legitimate, how about applying that same standard in a Muslim country? You wouldn't want that, would you, as an Orthodox Muslim? So why are we accepting that in a Western country? Why do we think it's okay to raise our children in a Western country under the same law, but when it comes to a Muslim country, no, we don't want that? Isn't that a level of hypocrisy?